everyone, welcome back to my channel. So before the year is out, I really wanted to do this with you guys as a reset for 2022, as we're kind of leaving the old energy of this year and heading into the energy of the new. So I thought we could create a bit of a vision board together, but this time I wanted to do a digital version because I do have an old physical vision board behind me that I created in a previous video where I kind of printed out a bunch of pictures that I got off Pinterest and glued them all down and picked all my categories. But I think it would be really nice to have a digital version as well that I can be constantly updating, and also choosing a bunch of different categories from manifestation to goals and traveling or career things, and just a whole blend of things. So I'm doing this video in collaboration with Visbo, so wanted to thank them for sponsoring this portion of the video. And essentially it is an app that you can download, so I'm going to leave the link down below if you guys want to make yours with me, and that will give you a free 3-month subscription, which is really exciting to get you started on creating the vision board of all of your dreams for the new year ahead. And like I said, really just resetting as we head into the new year. And I'm going to be doing an entire series of videos about the ways in which I kind of reset and get organized to really get myself in the best shape by the end of January. So throughout the whole month of January, I'll be featuring a ton of videos where I'm kind of doing all of these things. So let's get straight into it. And just a super quick reminder, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I put up new videos every single week. So first things first, the app is called Visbo. So I'll pop the little icon up here in case you are searching for it in the App Store. But essentially this is your opening screen. So it just says manifest the life of your dreams. And God knows I love doing that because I do think there is such power in visualizing your goals and dreams. And there are definitely a ton of things off my prior vision board that have really come true. And whether that just be kind of, seeing signs and numbers that you're really on the right path, or it's actual physical, tangible things like my laptop, which I worked really hard to reach a financial goal that I could then afford to have that. And these little symbolic kind of leaps and bounds that you can take by allowing yourself to visualize and believe that something can happen is really, really incredible. So I'm going to pop onto the build a vision board, and essentially it will take me into the first part where I'm going to input a bunch of my information. The next step is to give your vision board a bit of a name. So this could be something like Emma's Dream Life, my annual goals vision board. Maybe it's like You've Got This if it's for a particular goal that you're aiming for the end of the year, or any of those kind of topics. So what I'm going to do is call it my annual goals vision board. So I'll type that in, and there are a bunch of sections that you can begin with. So I'll read a couple of them out to you, but basically it is travel, health, family, friends, work. There is fun, which we all know I love a bit of recreational fun. I think it is so good to get out of your comfort zone and really plan a bunch of activities quite often to reinvigorate that real passion and love we have for our lives. There's also business, finance, wealth, and self-care. And I honestly have to say, so many of these are major priorities in my life. So I think the first one I'm going to go with though is health, because that's always a huge goal of mine heading into the new year after definitely letting loose a little bit and relaxing over the holiday season. So let's continue on with that. The next step is to start adding photos, and the best thing about this app is it has a ton of photos that you can choose from. So very similar to when I was using Pinterest to create my board, this is all done within the app and it's super convenient as well. So this is my next screen where I'm going to start adding photos to my health board. And from there, I can just scroll through and select a bunch of images from all of these gorgeous stock images to start creating my healthy living board. So I've gone ahead and selected 10 images that I feel really represent where I want my health goals to go. And I can play those as a little reel as well, which is great because if you update it, you can play this to kind of visualize where your things are heading. So my health section for the new year is based around a couple of pillars, I guess we'll call them. And one of those is skin health. So I really am on a little bit of a journey to fix some blemishes and things that I had been getting ever since lockdown, and just with some hormonal imbalances. So that is a huge one for me and something that is ongoing. And of course with skincare, I feel like it always ends up being a little bit trial and error. So that's a big priority for me this year, really investing a little bit more time, effort, and money where it needs to go for my skin to be on track. And another thing is of course, really healthy, fresh foods, and really just getting back to my roots with my business, as you know, called the Slow Living Co. I've got market bags, and going to the markets is something that I absolutely adore. So I really want to be investing time and going to the markets on the weekend and buying all of those fresh fruits and veg, and just a couple of other things like that, getting back into yoga and really allowing my body to have those rest and stretch days to really rejuvenate in between some more hard cardio based kind of workouts. So that's kind of my health goals for the new year. And another really cool part of the app is you can add these widgets to your home screen. So that is a really fun thing to do as well. And if I add that Visbo widget, essentially it's like some of the home screen things that I've got at the moment. So if I close out of this and show you, this is my current home screen widgets, which I did in another video. So instead of having these ones, I can refresh my phone for the new year and add in my vision board as well, which is really exciting because I just have a little Pinterest widget at the moment and it kind of flicks through a whole bunch of photos, but it would be really great to have it specific to my goals so that they're always there as a daily reminder. If you don't know how to do widgets on your phone, which is something that I only recently learned as well, I'll show you quickly how to do it. So you go onto your screen. If you already have some like me, you just hit this edit button, otherwise that will be there. And then a little plus symbol will appear over in this top corner. So I'm going to tap onto that plus symbol and then I can search through the widgets. So if I type in Visbo, it will come up like this, and then I can go into that and it will allow me to add the vision board widget. So here it is, and I can choose which kind of format that I want it to be in, whether it's small, big, or large. So if I choose this one, then I just go add widget. And there we have it. It's now on my phone as a daily reminder, and I could also change the size of that if I wanted to customize it further. But that's really cool. So I can save that now by just hitting done. And now the Visbo widget is part of my home screen, and that's absolutely beautiful because it will just continue to flick through all of the different categories and vision boards that I make. So now we can go back to where we started, and I simply click on another section like wealth, and I can continue on through, and same thing, just scroll through a bunch of these inspirational images and find some things that really suit my money goals and my kind of direction for where that's heading. So for me, when I think of personal wealth and in a financial kind of sense, it really relates to setting up multiple streams of income. So I obviously have my job, and that is my kind of most base stable stream of income. Then I have YouTube with you guys, which also earns me a little bit from the Google AdSense thing. And then I've got the Slow Living Co, which of course is my little tote bag business. If you guys haven't seen that, I will pop it in the description box down below. But basically it is about having a couple of different things set up, so I'm not always just relying on my one stream of income, and that allows me to increase my overall net wealth whilst also just really building something meaningful for my future in terms of being able to save for bigger financial goals. So I'm going to add in a couple of images for that now as well. So I've just gone ahead and created the wealth section of the board as well. And if I kind of explain my money mindset, it is essentially about creating abundance. So I look at money as energy, and I think energy in and energy out. And the best way to really create abundance in your life is to be spending where you need to spend, but also the knowing that the money will come back to you. And I think this really comes from knowing that investing in yourself or investing in others, whether it be purchasing an online course that might be really helpful for your self-development, or whether it just be purchasing something, for example, a laptop, which is going to help you then work on your startup business and then will create other overarching goals as well. So I really like to kind of break it down into bite-sized things and ask myself, what is it? Why do I need it? How is it going to bring energy back to me? And then just have the faith that if you are, like I said, spending on certain things that are classed as an investment, that you can really feel relaxed and calm in knowing that you're really doing something good for yourself. And whether it comes back immediately or just gradually over time, I do feel like you'll really start to feel that abundance when you create a more positive money mindset. Some of the other areas that I'll be working on when I put together this vision board would be travel. And I am a massive traveler. I've done 36 countries so far, and it's something that I do really want to get back into when it kind of feels safe to do so. So I know traveling overseas at the moment is a little bit more difficult than it has been in previous years, but I do have a bunch of destinations that are certainly on my list, and I am hoping to get back overseas next year, fingers crossed, but we'll have to see. So I am going to put on a number of local kind of destinations, which in my eyes is kind of managing your expectations and looking around us, because Australia is a really beautiful country and there are a ton of places that we can still travel to and enjoy. So that is something that I'm going to be essentially compromising on if I'm not able to get overseas. And then if I'm able to go overseas, there will be a bunch of places that I'll pop into that list as well. In terms of family, well, that is coming right up for me very early into the new year, and that is going home. So hopefully it all goes to plan and I'll be back with my family really soon. And of course, given the last 2 years and only being able to see my family literally once per year due to all of the border closures and everything, I really want to be investing more time in making my way up to Queensland or up to Sydney where my relatives are, and really reconnecting in with my family as much as possible in the new year. So that is a huge priority as well as friends, because I have found that with the lockdown, working from home alone and living alone as well, I definitely kind of got back in my shell a little bit. And I'm someone who is a bit of an introverted extrovert. And I don't know if you guys can relate, but I often find that if put in the right social situation with people I know, I will just thrive and flourish and I'll talk people's ears off all night. But if I'm kind of left on my own for a little bit, I kind of start to get a little bit weird. So I find that I become way more quiet and reserved. And so I sort of back off on reaching out to my friends and catching up with them. So that is definitely something that I want to do. And that also ties into a financial kind of goal of being more comfortable with my finances to the point that I can move out into a new apartment. And that will mean slightly more expensive rent, but I really do want a bigger apartment so that I can actually host people in my home more often, because that's something that I really love doing as I've gotten older, and I'm kind of less and less feeling drawn to go out unless it's like a really lovely date night with my partner. So I want to be able to have a space that is bigger than this tiny apartment to be able to have people over and really host and show them that I love them and we can kind of connect over a bottle of wine or a beautiful meal. The other thing is for work. So of course I do have my job, which I'm really passionate about, and I really am just wanting to take as many opportunities as I can in the new year and really upskill myself and challenge myself, because things had been a little bit more slow paced over the lockdown kind of period. And on a YouTube kind of goal, you guys know that I'm charging upwards and onwards towards the 10K. So that will be really, really meaningful when I get to that goal. So I would love to get there around March or April. So fingers crossed all goes to plan and the channel keeps on growing and I can really kind of reach that goal. And another work goal is something that I'm not going to tell you about, but it is a company that I have started and I'm really excited to be building that up. So I'm going to be focusing a lot of my energy into getting that prepared over the New Year's period. Then the last one is self-care. And I say this is the last one because I feel like it's something that always falls off the map for us, but self-care and resetting yourself into the new year is incredibly important, and exactly why I'm taking 2 weeks off after this video. So I will still be putting up vlogs, but there'll just be a weekly vlog for the Gold Coast and a weekly vlog for Byron Bay. And then I'll be right back into programming a bunch of my New Year's reset kind of resolutions and ideas for you. So that is something really, really important. And I do think that our creativity can sometimes get stifled if we are too busy, and our self-care then kind of suffers because any really good routines we had in place about looking after ourselves kind of fall off the back burner and they're just really pushed to the side because you're just focusing on like survival mode sometimes. So I definitely want to make sure I don't burn myself out to the point where I'm just like hanging on for dear life. So I really want to make sure that I'm prioritizing self-care as a seamless part of my routine heading into the new year. So that is another board that I will absolutely be putting together as a really good reminder that it is really great to be taking time out for yourself and focusing on proper self-care, whether that be a face mask, a massage, something like that. But I'm going to be scheduling in appointments, and I do have an amazing wall calendar that I'm going to be using for all of that to kind of plan things out so that I actually stick to everything and have kind of either weekly, fortnightly, or monthly goals surrounding self-care. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed hearing some of my goals to reset for 2022. And if you want to have a look at the Visbo app as a little bit of a tool to help you do that digitally, then I will leave the links for that in the description box down below. Otherwise, you could always be old school and do it the paper way. But I do find this is quite helpful because now I've got the widget set up on my phone so I can have a look at that and kind of have those images flicking through and really reminding me of what my goals are. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.